So as of right now, we pretty much know that Blackberry isn't really making any more phones anymore. But every single year, their older phones that they made do end up going down in value. I still own a few of them. And it's funny because there are still some things that Blackberry did right that I actually do think could be implemented on future phones in some way. And there's some reasons why I still like Blackberry phones even in this year. Now, the first thing that I always loved about Blackberry was the keyboard. Now, I think that's the reason why everybody liked Blackberries during their moment. Now, at this moment, I don't like having a physical keyboard, but Blackberry did something very interesting to make themselves stand out versus other keyboard manufacturers during their time. During, I would say, the last 5 to 10 years, there haven't been an influx of, phones with keyboards. Most of them have been removing them. So it was very interesting that Blackberry kept giving us phones with keyboards on them. It was like their staple. Now, they did make a few phones that didn't look like they had keyboards. The Blackberry Priv, for example, was one of my most favorite phones I've ever seen before. So it was a mixture of the keyboard being what it was, but also what Blackberry was able to do with that lower half of the keyboard. It wasn't just the keyboard on the bottom. It was also a mixture of that, as well as a fingerprint sensor built within the spacebar, as well as almost like a touch pad that you have on top of the keyboard. So if you wanted to go and swipe through things, or if you wanted to move around a page or swipe through the screens or something, you didn't even have to touch the screen for that. It was almost like an actual, mouse and keyboard. And that was a very cool thing that they did. And looking back at some of the older phones that they did make, it's actually very interesting because it's just kind of a cool thing that they did during that moment. Of course, most manufacturers now aren't going to implement a keyboard on their phones anymore. It's kind of expensive and whatnot, but it was still a really nice thing that they did. Another thing that I've noticed with almost a majority of the Blackberry phones that I own now was that you actually saw a really decent progression from the software standpoint. So owning something like the first generation Blackberry, like if you take a look at the Blackberry Classic or Blackberry Passport, they were built off of Android, but Blackberry, spun their own software on it. I really didn't like their software at all. But then when we actually, waited a year or two, we got the Blackberry Priv. That one actually ended up getting a little bit more stock version of software. It was almost completely stock. And then by the time they made the Blackberry Key 1 and the Blackberry Key 2, the software had completely shifted into basically majority stock Android, which it was very similar to the Blackberry Priv. So seeing Blackberry kind of go on and, listen to the masses and listen to everyone around them and continue to implement and, implement stock software versus their skin version of Android was another thing that I did like seeing from Blackberry. Now, everyone kind of knows their company has gone away, and definitely there's a lot of things. I would say there are way more things they should have improved on, and, Blackberry phones really aren't worth buying anymore. But there are still some key takeaways that I look at Blackberry phones that I'm still kind of impressed by in 2023. So if you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.